Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, that's right, we're finally getting around to it. All of President Biden's accomplishments and things that he has been able to do for our country. So let's take a look. Biden moves to show off wins in the shadow of inflation. Trump probe. President Biden is finally set to take his show on the road. Okay, here we go. We're going to hear all about what Joe Biden has been able to do. Biden and administration officials are set to tour the country to promote their sweeping climate tax and health care bill that the president and Democrats hope will bolster their standing ahead of November's crucial midterm elections. Okay, so climate, tax, and health. 1, climate. 2, tax. 3, health care. Okay, which is obviously can be challenged and disputed because obviously we're going to see more. But the tour comes in the shadow of stubbornly low approval ratings and questions swirling among Democrats over whether he should run for election in 2024, despite some indicators that inflation and prices at the pump are slowly coming down, slowly by cents. By cents. Small, tiny, of course, if he had not entirely shut down our energy independence, this wouldn't be a problem at all. But stubbornly low approval ratings. Well, that's because all Americans can feel it. When it was President Trump, they had to generate things about him. They basically amounted to superficial smears and painting dark clouds over him to make him look bad, as opposed to any sort of things that they could indicate that were actually affecting Americans, because very few Americans were being affected. Then there's Donald Trump. An investigation into the former president has Republicans alleging Biden is using his own FBI and Justice Department to target a political enemy, a notion the White House has vehemently tried to tamp down. Okay, so here we go. Started off here, and this is kind of soft language to indicate as the dog whistle to Biden supporters and or Democrats that, you see, the Democrats are pursuing their political enemies, and their enemies don't like it. So we're up to 3. Okay, we'll call that 4, pursuing their political enemies. I'm not sure how that exactly is accomplishing anything. But, of course, if you're a Democrat, if you're a left, if you're a progressive, then, pursuing your political enemies is an accomplishment. So we'll go to 4 now. Biden allies have quietly voiced frustration in recent days that his string of domestic victories has been eclipsed by the headlines of Mar-a-Lago. Okay, hang on. Let's review. Climate, tax, healthcare, 3. Persecution of Trump, we're up to 4. So, wait. Biden allies are quietly voicing frustration in recent days that his string of domestic victories. Okay, 4? Okay, so the 4 we just talked about eclipsed the headlines of Mar-a-Lago. Oh, so the persecution of his political enemies is eclipsing all of the amazing accomplishments of Joe Biden. Each day, more news comes out about the FBI investigation into Trump, and it's showing no signs of slowing down after a judge indicated on Thursday that he may unseal part of the affidavit accompanying the search warrant the Justice Department used. Okay, is this improving gas prices? Is this improving retail prices? Is this helping with international relations? Is this helping domestically? We wonder. And then let's just see a little bit more. The reality is that there's so much news every single day of Biden's accomplishment. So many 4 things already, guys. So many 4 things already. Can sometimes get lost, and if you're not out there. Okay, well, yeah, obviously you probably have to be out there. Talking about the every single day said this particular person's name, former communications director at the Democrat National Committee. Apologize, I'm just trying to calculate all of these amazing things that President Biden has done. Now, to go on, guys, basically it's just touting the same nonsense here. The president set to rally voters at the DNC event in Maryland. I'm looking forward to seeing the crowds there. That's what I want to see, because when President Trump has his rallies, it's huge. And then, of course, you don't see all the overflow. But ultimately, guys, this comes down to what they perceive to be his biggest accomplishment. We'll mark it down as number 5, the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA. And that's what the rest of this article talks about, essentially, see, here. And then, of course, more persecution about his rivals, and then that's it. So 4 things. 4 entire things. So let's just take a quick look Now, I did a regular Google search, and Google is incredibly generous towards Democrats. Incredibly generous towards Democrats. And so let's take a look. So I did, and then we go to The Guardian. So let's see if we can get some additions to our list here. So here's the meat of White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain's argument to American voters. Elections are choices, and choices just couldn't be any clearer right now. Okay, so what does that have to do with benefiting the country? The Biden administration took advantage of a quiet week. Oh, yeah, well, they take advantage of a lot of quiet weeks in Washington to lay the groundwork for a roughly 2 months of campaigning before. Okay, so campaigning is part of the accomplishment. How is that benefiting our country? Because maybe the establishment is going to continue to be the establishment. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain gave an interview to Politico where he promoted Biden's legislative accomplishments. Okay, taxes and reforms and climate, what we just talked about. A Georgia judge, okay, yeah, persecution, yeah, Lindsey Graham, yeah, pursuing your political enemies. Democrats attack Mike Pence, yeah, pursuing your political enemies. Ohio House Democrat criticized Biden. She's fighting to keep her seat. Okay, so the Democrats are losing, but Biden's accomplishments, got to get them out there. Okay, so here, okay, maybe 6 more LGBTQ politicians are holding election offices in America than ever before. Okay, so maybe 6. We're up to 6 now, maybe. He's helping the LGBTQ, and I'm not saying that to be derisive. I'm just saying, okay, so maybe we could count that as an accomplishment. The 6th thing. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade may be causing a surge in women's registering to vote. Okay, so was it the leak? Was it the leak that we still don't know who did that may be helping him? So I don't know how that's, well, we could call that as helping women in America. So we're up to 7 now. Joe Biden letting Ohio solar manufacturers, okay, that's going to be under the climate thing, but undercut by China sounds like a Republican campaign at advertising. Okay, so China's undercutting and stuff. So that's part of his climate change. So that's still part of the 7. New York Times reports that Marcy Kaptur had become the latest and most prominent Democrat lawmaker to publicly break with Biden within, okay, highest. Okay, so that's not an accomplishment to anybody here. Republicans' House candidates are facing close race, are being advised not to talk too much about Donald Trump. But okay, so pursuing your political enemies and then causing the Republicans not to talk about it because, of course, well, negative connotation. The advice comes from Tom Emmer, the GOP House representative, and Chamber now. Okay, so pursuing their political enemies, I guess you could say, still within the 7. Trump should announce run for 2024 soon to avoid indictment. Sources say, well, he should have done it before, but that's not why he's running. He's not doing it to avoid indictment. So that's not why he would be running. He's running to be president. Okay? He would be running to be president to help people. Now, I'll spare you the rest of it because if you look into this, it's basically more Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. See, federal court appeal. So pursuing their political enemies, William Barr. And then, of course, back to Georgia, more pursuing their political enemies. Again, pursuing Georgia, here in Georgia. Meanwhile, in Florida, federal judge has blocked provisions to stop woke act that banned private employees from discussing white men's privilege and so forth. Okay, so some of their CRT stuff. So we'll call that 8. So let's give him 8 for that. So we're up to 8 now. Conservatives' judicial losing streak continue today. Oh, we're losing streaks. Okay, so causing your political enemies to lose. But this is all judicial. This is all legal matters going back to women. So that's still within the 7. So, okay. And then Ukraine, all right. So that's international, but most of us as taxpayers are paying for that. So that's more of a proxy war going after Putin, who is their political enemy and international enemy. So, but it's taxpayer money that we as everyone in America are paying for, as opposed to, say, using it for stimulus or something like that. Again, another legal matter, pursuing their political enemies. Republican Party candidates for Congress in New York has being facetious when it comes to, okay, so more Merrick Garland, the FBI again. We're not supposed to be talking about FBI, remember that? And then we have White House Chief of Staff Klain again, interview on political radio. Okay, Democrat attack White Pence. Okay, again, pursuing the political enemies. LGBT again, so it's a repeat. And then again on Mike Pence to visit and what he's doing. And, okay, that's it. So we're up to 7. We're up to 7 things, guys. Okay, and I want to illustrate a little bit more. So I did more into this to see. So we're up to 4 trillion. How the Biden administration legislative success became reality. 4 trillion. Okay, that was the whole deal there, which was part of his measures. So that's still included within the 7. President Biden had the narrowest possible Democratic majority in the Senate when he took office. Well, the establishment put him there. Yet the Biden administration's legislative success continues to pile up. Yeah, it piles up. It's piling up. We're up to 7 things. We're up to 7 things. He signed the American Rescue Plan. That was what we just talked about a moment ago. Just different ways of wording it, I guess, to make it look like he's done 8 things, but he's actually only done 7. And then that's it. Okay? Now you would think, we would think maybe Fox News would have some type of sarcastic, cynical outline of things and then tear them all down or, break it all down. So White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, again, here we go again, claims Biden historic achievements. Oh, all of them. Let's see what they all are. And essentially, guys, it's the same thing we just read, but only one thing, and that is pursuing his political enemies. Yeah. Elections are choices, and the choice just couldn't be any clearer right now. Yeah, especially when we have all 7 things that Biden has accomplished. And he stood up to Big Pharma. He stood up to Big Pharma, but we're still paying higher prices in medication in some areas. Now, President Trump did as well. So, 7 things. If you guys want to generously outline some additional things that Biden has accomplished, by all means, I welcome them down in the comments section. I mean, there could be some tit-for-tat things down there that you could add up. But you see here, even Fox News doesn't have anything. And then when you go through the comments section here, it's all of them outlining some of the things that he's obviously what Americans are suffering from. Now, to round this all off, you would think, right? You would think that with everything that was going on with President Trump, the media didn't cover very few of his accomplishments. And as we just saw here, 7 things, okay? 7 things. Let's just give Biden 20. And what I'm going to do now is show you all of Trump's accomplishments. Yeah, it's absolutely extraordinary. Even if I were to give Biden 100 things, these are all the things that President Trump was able to accomplish. And the media never covered it, rarely covered any of this, because when times are going well, you normally don't talk about some of the things that are going well, particularly when it's someone who you dislike. As much as they hate President Trump, the angst, the hatred, the vitriol, the evil, the persecution, the smearings. Look at this. I'm still going. I'm just trying to fill time. So let's give Biden 200 things. And we're still going. Guys, I can go on and continue the list. It is massive of what President Trump has been able to accomplish. Look at this. You would think that the Democrats would be able to write an article with Joe Biden and have an accomplished list like this. Well, I'm still going. I'm not even halfway through. This list. Now I'm bumping a little bit faster. You would think that they would be able to come out and list all, something, maybe 50 things that Biden has done. And we read those articles, and I was generous. I gave them 7. Maybe 10 things. I'm still going. Yeah, that's right. I'm still going down Trump's accomplishments, and I will link them down below. You guys can go by and see this. And I post this to people who make these arguments about all the things that Biden has done, all 10, 20, 100. Yeah, I'm still going, but I just wanted to make this point. I'm still going. I mean, it goes on and on. How many things that he's accomplished, how many things that he's done to succeed and to help our country, to benefit our country, and what the establishment has done to hold him back so the country can't accomplish anything, so that we can't benefit. They held us back because what we're going through now. Now I'm getting down towards the end of the list. Now look at that. I'm going to scroll through it real quickly for those of you who have vertigo. I'm going to go all the way back through. Here we go. So all the accomplishments of President Trump, every bit, and you would think that the Democrats would be able to come up with a comprehensive list. Now, this is official. This is official White House release. This isn't Fox News. This isn't Breitbart. This is from the White House and the accomplishments that people can point to, that I can point to and say, here are Trump's accomplishments. Okay? And here I did Google on Biden, and I went through them all. You can see all the different links I chose. This one actually goes to donate, What is the first lady? What is the first lady right now? Where is she? Who is Biden's wife? This is what people want to know. The superficial nonsense. And then with President Trump, it's massive, massive accomplishments. And that's what I have for you guys today. I welcome your comments, thoughts down there below the video. Thank you to all of you on DTube, BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, all of you guys on New Tech for your continued support and appearing there on the screen. That would be the channel icon for you guys to click on to support the channel by subscribing and or notifications, letting you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.